Hello everyone. Today I'm going to be reviewing Pipeline the Surf Coaster at SeaWorld Orlando, the world's only B&M surf coaster. I was very much looking forward to experiencing this attraction, but after my first ride yesterday, I have some mixed opinions. Today, I thought I would share them with you so that you can know what to expect on the ride. When the original concept of the surf coaster came out, I was very intrigued about the idea of a revitalized stand-up coaster. Although I don't typically enjoy this model, they do provide some interesting ride experiences. And I thought the surfing aspect would make the ride a lot more enjoyable than a regular stand-up roller coaster would be. Fast forward to the ride opening, and I'm hearing a lot of mixed reviews, so now I really don't know what to expect. A lot of people were saying the ride was uncomfortable but provides good forces. But real quick, I want to mention that this summer I got to ride Georgia Scorcher, the small-scale B&M stand-up coaster at Six Flags Over Georgia, and I have to say I sort of enjoyed that ride, mainly because it was smooth, but also because it had forces that were unique to the other stand-up coasters that I've ridden, such as one of the airtime hills on the ride that you can lift your legs up on and float. This is essentially the sensation that Pipeline the Surf Coaster features, but to more of an extent due to the surfing feature on the trains. The surfing feature itself is extremely cool and unique to a roller coaster, but has its drawbacks. As is the problem with the other stand-up roller coasters, the restraints are quite obnoxious. On Pipeline, the vest restraint comes down extremely tight over your shoulders, which is rather uncomfortable all throughout the ride. In addition to this, although this mainly applies to my gentlemen out there, the restraint can often be very restrictive around the waist. Especially when an employee is tightening the restraint when you're not ready for it, it can really hurt. Now for the ride layout itself. The launch is not very powerful, but the airtime hill and the subsequent floating action from it make it extremely fun. Following that is an overbank turn, which honestly doesn't really do a whole lot, but that leads into the first main airtime hill on the ride, which I have to admit delivered. The vest restraints certainly did not help things, but there was a nice dose of floater airtime over this hill, compounded by the surfing, of course. The next element is the only inversion on the ride, a corkscrew. This element is rather intense, not utilizing the surfing action, rather shoving riders into the surfboards. With this being the first ever surf coaster B&M made, they were definitely testing the waters on what elements would work. Did I hate this corkscrew? No, but I feel like if they really wanted to add an inversion to this ride, they could have added one that showcased the surfing action a little more. Obviously, I think if another surf coaster is built, the layout will look completely different from how Pipeline's does. Personally, I think the surf model should focus on graceful elements, prioritizing negative G's over inversions or intensity. The moving seats emphasize airtime on the ride, so I think it would make sense to have a layout emphasize airtime as well. Again, it's pretty clear that Pipeline was sort of the guinea pig of this model, and again, I'm not even saying I don't like this element, but I just don't think it fits on the surf coaster. Anyways, continuing with the layout, you have a nice pop of airtime followed by a downward helix to the right. This brings in the part of Pipeline that I actually have a problem with, and it starts being prevalent in this section of the ride. I mainly think this is because of the stand-up trains, but some of these turns just have a nasty rattle to them. After the helix, you turn up to the left, followed by another great airtime hill. This is another hill that really allows the surfing aspect to shine, and it's one of those moments that really surprised me because of how strong it is. This is followed by a drawn out turn to the right and a small twisted hill, which still provides really good airtime, and then a turn into the brakes. Pipeline is not the longest attraction, but I did not get off the ride feeling like it was too short. At 2,950 feet, it's just 50 feet shorter than Georgia Scorcher in length, which I consider to be a pretty complete ride considering its smaller stature. I think my overall impression of Pipeline is mixed, but seeing the elements that really shine give me hope for the surf coaster model, and I would definitely be excited to see more of them. For a final score, I'll be giving Pipeline the Surf Coaster a 3.25 out of 5. I really do recommend Pipeline the Surf Coaster for its unique ride experience, but as I've stated, it does have its slight drawbacks. That's about all I've got for you today. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and stay tuned for all my other coaster content coming from Orlando later this week.